Welcome to Michigan City Rising, the podcast that celebrates the vibrant spirit of Michigan City, Indiana. I'm Eric Tornes, your host and dedicated real estate agent with App Properties, Christie's International Real Estate. In each episode, we'll dive into the heart of our community, chatting with local business owners, innovative entrepreneurs, and influential public officials who are driving Michigan City's growth. From the hidden treasures to bustling businesses, we'll uncover the stories that make our little metropolis unique and exciting. Whether you're a longtime resident or new to the area, Michigan City Rising is your ultimate guide to everything that makes this place special. Today I'm visiting Diamond Martial Arts in Michigan City, where I'm joined by owner Joe Lanning to discuss his background in martial arts, including how he began, his inspirations within his craft, some of his mentors, and how all of that has led to opening his own academy right here in Michigan City. We'll even get a chance to break a board, and Joe will give us his own demonstration on breaking something with a lot more resistance. Welcome to Michigan City Rising. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Eric Tornes. I'm here shooting our next episode with Michigan City Rising. We're here at Diamond Martial Arts. I'm here with owner Joe Lanning, correct?
That's right.
So today we're just going to kind of discuss some of the programs that you have in place, what how you got started in martial arts, and just kind of your background. So
yeah,
I'd love to hear your story, and I'm sure our viewers would too. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I started when I was 17 in Taekwondo at LaPorte.
Okay.
Under Masters Mary and Jerry Crosland at the LaPorte YMCA.
Okay.
They were in that program from 1993 till 2020 during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, they decided they were going to retire. But that's where I started. I started in 2003, and I got my black belt in 2006, my first degree black belt. I went to second degree about a year and a half later, and just kind of kept going up through the ranks. I'm a fifth degree black belt currently. I'm hoping within the next 2 years to test for my sixth degree.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was under the Croslands just before I got my black belt, they incorporated me into their instructor training program. And that's where I kind of got this bug, this passion for teaching. And when it first started, I had no interest in teaching children because I wanted to do the serious martial arts stuff, right? But my instructor gave me a challenge. He said, I want you to be the young students' favorite teacher, favorite instructor in our group. And I took that challenge very seriously. And before I knew it, I mean, it was like a light switch. All of a sudden, I loved teaching kids just as much as I loved working with the adults.
Okay.
So that's kind of where that, and the passion grew from there. I studied how to be an efficient instructor, how to be a professional martial artist for many, many years.
Okay.
And that's, I went from volunteer teaching with them. Also, in 2012, I opened up my own class in Westville for a few years.
Okay.
And then from there, I got an offer to run the Michigan City YMCA, which is a branch of LaPorte YMCA. But I got an offer to run their program, which I did from 2018 again till 2020 when the pandemic shut us down.
Yeah.
And about 2022, when my instructors had decided they were retired, I really wanted to bring it back. I really wanted to get back into it. I asked the LaPorte Y if they would have me come in and run the program, take over. They did, and it was really, really fun right up until this building became available.
Okay.
And in addition to all the teaching that I had done and the continuing training of Taekwondo, I came here about 2008 or 9 when this building opened up under the Homans, who are in Crown Point. They run Home and Karate Do out there. And they had an instructor, a fabulous instructor, Sensei John Zurisk. He ran this school for about 9 years.
Okay.
And I trained under him for a number of years in his style because I wanted to expand. I love Taekwondo. I continue to love Taekwondo. But I had gotten such a passion, not just for teaching martial arts, but for learning it, for absorbing it. And it was so funny because Bruce Lee in his book, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, talks about there are many paths up the same mountain.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I did karate here for a while. I did Kung Fu in Fish Lake under a man named Sifu David Curl.
Okay.
And I did some jiu-jitsu here. I did some jiu-jitsu in Valpo. I've had kind of an eclectic collection of various things that I've studied over the many, many years. And so I try to incorporate that all into what I teach without watering anything down, you know, and without trying to say, well, everything is Taekwondo. No, that's not true. You know, so if I pick something up from karate and I'm teaching that technique, I'll tell my students, this is from karate, this is from Kung Fu, but I find it useful and I find it fun and I'd like you to know it too.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. So what kind of different styles of martial arts? You had mentioned a little bit of the Kung Fu and then karate and Taekwondo. Like what other different styles do you offer here?
Well, primarily what I offer here is Taekwondo.
Okay.
But I call it sort of, I think of it as Taekwondo plus this little bit of eclectic sort of self-defense system that we've built up. So our core Taekwondo forms, the patterns that we do, those are based in what's called Chang Hun Taekwondo and a little bit of Tai Guk Taekwondo, a little heavily influenced by some other systems in Taekwondo. But then the self-defense aspect, when we're partnering up and we're working on wrist locks, escapes, arm bars, that kind of stuff, I've derived that from a wide range of instruction that I've received over the years. Where do
you get your inspiration from? Like, I mean, as far as, you know, the methods that you're teaching and just kind of, you know, the values that you teach here. You know, I see them written up here on the wall and everything. And
walls,
so like, where do you, I guess, where does that come from?
Yeah, I want to kind of go back to when I was a kid and tell this story, because when I was a kid, I grew up in the era of Power Rangers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's the song say? We only use our powers for defense, right? And then my mom, I'll never forget it, she bought me this video. She happened to see it like Kmart or something. And it was a movie called Best of the Best. And it's sort of the Karate Kid for Taekwondo fighters or Taekwondo martial artists. And it was about this team, of fighters who come together and they go and compete in Korea at an Olympic level tournament. And there's a line in there where the best fighter out of the whole group is asked, when did you start training? And he said, I started training when I was 4. I got that line in my head and I thought, I am too old to start training. I'll never be that good if I don't start when I'm much younger. And I thought this as a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay. Until I had 2 friends who were in that class at the Y practically drag me.
Okay.
They're like, Joe, we know you're going to love it. And they dragged me to that first class. It was one of the hardest workouts I'd done up to that point in my life. And here I am 20 some odd years later.
Yeah.
And I'm running my studio here. So, folks, don't ever think you're too old. Okay. I started when I was a teenager, but I've known folks who have started in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Oh, wow.
And I've taught a wide range of age groups. And you're never really too old to start. So you talk about inspiration. My personal inspiration were those things on TV and in movies.
Yeah.
And then as soon as somebody was teaching me how to do it, how I can do it, and I didn't think I could do it. All of a sudden, there I was doing the movements and feeling like a real, true, you know, like fighter. You know? That felt really good. And then as far as the values go, well, Taekwondo, we have 5, what do they call 5 tenets of Taekwondo. Okay. And these are kind of universal to almost every Taekwondo style. And there's a lot out there. But the 5 tenets of Taekwondo are courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. Okay. Some of them add in victory, right? But that's I think that's sort of a personal thing. But we try to use the vehicle of martial arts to instill this in all of our students. At every age. Okay. And for me, it really starts with 2 elements, confidence and respect. Because when you don't have confidence, I think that's one of the major pillars upon which all your other values rest. When your self-confidence is weak or it starts to collapse, everything else that's built on top of that can crumble along with it. And then along with that, another pillar is respect. And not just respect for other people, but respect for yourself. And so that's why we start with respect. Lesson 1, minute 1 of day 1, when a student comes in, we start with our attention and our bow. Okay, to show respect to the building, to the training space, to the teacher, to the student. Because if you notice, a teacher and a student bow to each other. That is a mutual respect. That isn't just, the student has to look up to the master instructor and bow down. No, we're bowing to each other. It's a mutual respect. We respect each other's time. We respect each other's desire to learn and to grow. And we work together to accomplish those goals for each other.
That's awesome. So you had spoke about your students, and it seems to me, I mean, you did talk about, I guess instructing children, right? From very young ages, and but there are other age groups here, right? Okay, so that's awesome. I mean, tell us about some of your classes, and a little bit about the business, and I guess what you do offer here as far as classes.
Absolutely. Primarily, the core, I would say the majority of the students that I have fall in the age group of 6 to 12.
Okay.
But we do offer a 4 to 6 age group class for those who haven't developed that far yet. But it's going to be focused a little bit more on learning our rights and lefts, learning how to work with our body and coordinate, from mind to hand to feet, and also working in these core values at that sort of age group mentality level. And then they step up into the 6 to 12 age group. But then we also have a 13 and up age group class. And that's just because I do get stopped a lot out here. If I'm checking the mail, if I'm shoveling the sidewalk, if I'm putting out salt in the wintertime, of course, this is what's fresh in my mind right now. But I get stopped a lot, and I get asked, do you have classes for adults? Absolutely, we have classes for adults. And again, like I said earlier, there's no time that's perfect to start doing martial arts. Because every day that is behind you. You can't go back. But every day moving forward is like you have to start somewhere, right? A common thing that you will hear in fitness industries, in martial arts in particular, it's a cliche for a reason. But I love the saying. It's, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And you got to start somewhere. Yeah, absolutely. And I look at my school in particular as a great place to start somewhere. Because like I said, I did the Taekwondo under my instructors for 20 years. But in addition to that, I went and did some karate, some kung fu, and some jiu-jitsu, and this, that, and the other thing. They were that thing for me. They were the ones who taught me about martial arts and instilled that passion in me. It was there in me, but they helped bring it out, right? And so it was a great place for me to start my training journey and then grow from there. Okay, that's awesome. So as far as now, currently, what times do you have your classes? Like, when are they offered? Monday through Thursday evenings. Okay. So we have our younger age group class from 4 to 4:30 because you're not really going to hold their attention for a whole lot longer than that. But we do try to keep them through all of our age groups. We have 3 S's, we have our SSL, smiling, sweating, and learning. Okay. All right. That's for all our age groups. But then 5 to 5:45 is our 6 to 12 age group. And we split that up. Mondays and Wednesdays is our beginner sort of focus. And then Tuesday, Thursdays is our intermediate and advanced focus. Okay. So, but I tell people that if you can't come on Mondays, if you can only come on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or Wednesdays and Thursdays or something, I'll work with you on that. Okay. I'll make sure that you get good quality instruction either way. Okay. And then 6 to 7, that's our 13 and up age group class. Okay. And I'm also working with Grandmaster Bill Holman, who, like I said, the Holmans are the folks who own this building, and they taught here for many, many years. And they still do the Holman Karate Do. Well, Grandmaster Bill Holman, who's one of the pillars of martial arts in Northwest Indiana, and he teaches Kyoshu Jitsu and Kempo Karate. Okay. He and I are working together on putting together a master class that we'll have in this building on Thursday evenings for black belts. And we're going to do some of the more traditional Okinawan, harder core stuff. Okay. We're talking pressure points and joint locks and deriving from the ancient form, or I shouldn't say ancient, but the older forms, how to do the more intense stuff. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys compete with other, academies around Northwest Indiana? Okay. It's been a while since the pandemic kind of took us off track, but pre-pandemic, we were doing a lot of tournaments. We were traveling to places like Plymouth and Valpo and going up into Illinois and Fort Wayne and Goshen. There were a lot of competitions that I personally went and competed in. And I tried to I never insisted. I never made it a requirement for my students, but I really said, if you want to do it, please do it, because it does take your martial arts to a whole different level when you're competing against other people. And then also in Westville and Michigan City, pre-pandemic, I hosted a number of tournaments.
Oh, okay.
My last one I hosted 2018 February. I did it over here at the Michigan City Y. We did it in the gym, and Master Ken Young tested for his 8th degree black belt at that tournament under Grandmaster Neil Singleton, who, if you're from this area and you've done any kind of martial arts, you've heard the name Master Neil Singleton.
Okay.
He was 9-time world champion kickboxer in our area, and he got to, I think, 7th degree black belt, and then later on got an honorary 8th and 9th degree black belt.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Just last year.
Okay. So from what I understand is that you have some demonstration that we're going to be getting into.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, we'll I guess we'll transition over there. All right. So we're gonna try this out. Joe's gonna teach me a little bit of this right here, and if you just kind of explain what we kind of have set up here.
Absolutely. So I want to teach you how to break a board, because first off, it's something that is pretty easy to learn. So anytime somebody comes in for their first lesson, I try to get them to break a board, because primarily it's how we develop our confidence.
Okay.
You hold the board.
All right.
It's solid, right?
Yep.
It doesn't flex very much. Wood flexes a little bit, but it's a barrier.
Yep.
Breaking through this barrier helps build your confidence in your technique, but then right along with that, we sort of use it to symbolize breaking through barriers that come up in life, and really what board breaking comes down to is about 50% technique and 50% the confidence and to bypass the fear response.
Okay.
It's like, I could get hurt. I've gotten hurt breaking boards before. Yep. I stacked up a whole bunch. They were not spaced at a competition. This is down in Knox. And I jumped up. The ceiling was really low at the time, so I tried to overcompensate for that, and I came down and broke my arm.
Oh, okay. But
that was like a really high-level competition, and I wasn't prepared with the way the venue was set up. Could have gone a little differently. But that's we're talking one injury out of thousands of boards that I've broken over the years, and many different competitions that I've done, including some here in this building. Anyway, so what I like to teach for beginners is what we call a hammer fist. Okay. So you want to think of it like, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I am a left-handed
person. Perfect. So what you want to do for this one is to put your right foot forward, because you're going to use your left hand. Okay. And this is kind of going to be our ending position right here. Okay. So let's see that fist. Okay. And what I like to tell people is you want to act like you've got $100 bill right here, and you're not going to let anybody take it from you. That's how tight you want your fist to be when you make impact on the board. Okay. You want to do it below the pinky, above the wrist. Okay. And what I'm going to have you do real quick, I'm going to mirror you. You're going to go up over your head like this. Okay. You're going to bring the elbow down, kind of point it like where the board would be, and then you're going to bring it down like this. Okay. Now, a lot of folks, when they first try this out, they tend to bend at the waist to compensate for, like they want to put more oomph behind the technique than just their arm. Right? But what I tell people is keep the shoulders over the hips. But drop in the knees. So you're going to sink down like this when you go. And you kind of bring it down just like you would a hammer on driving a nail. Right? Try that real quick on the pad.
All right.
Good. Breathe out when you do it. One more time. Good. You feel like you're ready. Do you feel like you're ready?
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. Let's try it. All I want you to do is aim for the dead center of the board. Yeah, that's a good idea. Aim for the dead center of the board with your fist. Okay. And try, yes, you're going to hit the board, but I want you to try and bring your fist down to here. The board's just in the way. So super high, down through, bend in the knees, not the waist.
All right.
Okay. 1. Go ahead and put your hand right here. Go up, and then go 1, 2, and 3. Please. Nice.
Awesome.
Good job.
Right.
That's fantastic. See?
Let out a little bit of stress there.
That's right. That's
Look
right.
out,
That's
Mike Tyson.
That's right. So this is yours to keep.
All right. Awesome.
Good job.
All
First
right,
board
cool.
break, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. So let's explain, explain what you're going to be doing here then.
So right along with what we talked about with building confidence, once you can do one, then we work up to breaking 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. And then you can work up to something with a little more tensile strength.
Okay.
Like a brick. Okay. And these are what we use for competition.
Okay.
I used to do competitions with the United States World Breaking Association.
Okay.
It's headquartered in New York, but they go around the country and even up into Canada and some other places and do these breaking competitions where you're breaking boards, you're breaking bricks. Some of them, one guy who used to train here under the karate instructor would bring cutouts of trees, tree trunks, and we break those. And those were kind of fun to break. So you can get a little creative with it. Anyway. The whole point of it is to build up your confidence. And this is going to be a test for me because I haven't really broken something like this in quite a long time. But I've got the willpower in me and I've got the experience. I've done this before. So we're going to try this right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And if it doesn't go great, that's okay because everything in martial arts is a learning experience. When you succeed, you'll learn by what worked for you. When you fail, you learn to grow from that failure. Because I think so often we go through life scared of failure, terrified of failure. We don't want to fail. Yeah. But that's how you learn. That's how you grow. Yep. Anyway, I'm going to do my best not to fail here.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to let you do your thing. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to warm up a little bit so that I kind of hone in on my target. Okay. This is called a drop elbow. It's one of my favorite breaking techniques. But I do kind of a variety. I either do a drop elbow or I do this type of elbow, but this one's set up a little tall for that. And I'm feeling like doing something kind of high up today. Okay. So my goal is to bring not the point of my elbow, but the muscle right here down through the center and down to the bottom here. Okay. It's going to get kind of loud. All right. Because I'm gonna do what's called keying up. I'm psyching myself up because I got to hit this really hard. So I'm gonna psych myself up really, really big for it. Okay. All right. Aya! Huzz! Huzz!
Oh, wow. All right.
Thank you. That was fun.
That was
I'm glad
awesome.
I got to do it on camera.
Well, that was really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And see, like these blocks are just 8 by 16 by 2 cap blocks. You can get these around here, like at Carter Lumber, Big C Lumber, and LaPorte's got them. I think Menards carries them on and off. Lowe's carries them sometimes. Okay. And that's just it. We just get these just like you would at any place. They're not special. They're not treated, you know. We just go down to the store and buy them. And yes, we destroy them. But like I said, it's a test for your own confidence. It's a test for your technique. And it's a way to build yourself up when you do this stuff. Okay. So it's a lot, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. It looks so like good.
Like I said, it lets out a lot of that stress through the day, you know, so get some energy out of your system.
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again, Joe.
Thank you.
Folks, so if you guys come down to Diamond Martial Arts Academy here, right on Franklin Street, what is the address here?
Yeah, we're 1804 Franklin.
Okay.
So we're just north of the Walgreens on Barker Avenue. And just south of Keys to Hope and Panini. If you're familiar with that restaurant, they got some great sandwiches.
Yes, they do. All right, folks, we'll take it easy. And this has been another episode of Michigan City Rising.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you're doing this. I just want to say, I hope this podcast grows because the Michigan City businesses really need it. Yeah. Like one of you guys said in one of your previous episodes, there's a lot of hidden gems in Michigan City that people don't know about. Yes. So the fact that you're here doing this feels great to me as one of the many business owners that I hear it all the time. We didn't know you were here, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing this for me and for the other businesses and for the Michigan City community. And if you're a local business owner, you need to get on this podcast because like you got to hear and see some of what I do and what I offer. But what about you? What are you doing? What are you offering to the community? Because, you know, when it comes to like Facebook ads and stuff like that, the audiences are getting so used to it. They just tune it out. Right. But what we're trying to put out there can benefit in great ways, help change and shape people's lives moving forward, or it could be something they just really enjoy for fun or for fitness or whatever the service might be. So I think a platform like what you're doing is going to greatly help us local small businesses that have to break through and get through to those people that could benefit from us, and also network with other businesses that we could help each other out, help each other grow. So thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, really of course. This has been awesome. So thank you for inviting me out.
Stop by anytime.
Yeah, all right. Thank you again. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Michigan City Rising. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. As a real estate agent with App Properties, it is my goal to connect the people of Michigan City and the Chicagoland region with local businesses and public officials to explore what our community has to offer. Join me next week where I'll be visiting with Amy Bowman, owner of Good News Vintage. Until next time.